Look at him. He's putting a contraption up that's going around the earth. Give him credit. He did pretty good. We put the earth here. He put a contraption up around it. That ain't bad. Give him credit. He's doing a wonderful job. They say, oh, Farrakhan, now you're going a little too far. Well, wait a minute. Go back and read the Quran. It says, we created the heavens and the earth with truth. Who is the we? And we adorn the lower heavens with stars. Who is the we? It said, and we raise mountains in the earth, lest the earth would convulse and carry you away. Who is the we? Brothers, the powers that you hold within yourself is so great, so mighty. If we just clear away the garbage and you submit yourself to God again, the original powers that once were ours way back then will come back to you again. And there is no power in the heavens above or in the earth beneath that could stop us from attaining whatever we want to attain once we get our relationship with the God back together again. You divine. Now, Reverend, I want a witness from the Reverend. The Bible says, how can you love God whom you have never seen and hate who? Your brother whom you see every day. Oh, look at this. What is the relationship between the God that you have never seen and the brother that's sitting right next to you right now? Elijah Muhammad said, every time I look at a black man, I am looking at God. Wait now. How can you love God whom you have never seen and hate your brother who's sitting next to you? Well, what is the relationship between the unseen God and the brother that's right there now? Jesus again, bring him to the witness stand. Jesus said to his disciples when they asked him, Master, when were you hungry and I fed you not? When were you naked and I clothed you not? When were you out of doors and I gave you not shelter? When were you sick and in prison and I didn't minister unto you? Jesus said, inasmuch as you have not done it unto the least of these, my brethren, you haven't done it also unto me. Let's stop. Jesus called you who? His brother. Well, wait a minute. Look, man, if Jesus is your brother, then that means your father and his father is who? So when Jesus said to the disciples when they asked him how to pray, he said, pray like this, our Father. Not mine alone, but who? Yours too. Well, now Jesus is to be the man that once again links man with God. Yes, sir. He's a man, but yet in him is the manifestation of the attributes and characteristics of God. Here you are, brothers. You can't see your own beauty because you're buried under the rubbish of the Western world. But in you, I see God. And that's why, brothers, I don't have to wait to see the Most High. When I see you, I bow, because I know who you are. And every one of you that I see, this little young fella here, he is my superior in some way. I know that boy got something in him that is of God. So when I meet him, I don't say, hey, boy, and don't pay him no attention. When I see him, I pay him attention, because you're supposed to respect God wherever you see him. Well, now, brothers, if you are so great that God would come after you because it's your time to rise up out of this condition, the enemy made you this kind of people to prove God. He can't do nothing with you. Can nobody handle you? They've actually given up on you, brother. It's the truth. There's no social agency. Nobody in America, all their psychiatrists, psychologists, penologists, ethnologists, historians, anthropologists, they're all saying, man, we can't do nothing with them. And when they give up, God comes. And they marvel. Farrakhan goes into these cities and men come out by the thousands. Because somehow you know that I love you, and you know that I'm not going to sell you out, and you know I'm going to tell you the truth. So, brothers, how do you think God feels when you put a gun in your hand and kill one that he came to reclaim and save? See, what you're doing every time you smoke one of your brothers, you are distancing yourself from God. He's becoming more and more angry with you. And you're being set up now for the chastisement of God. How will the chastisement come on you? Now, brothers, we got to get out of this. Because right now, their plan is very destructive for us. They put out a movie, Boys in the Hood. Then they put out another movie, Menace to Society. And they show us as cold killers. This went all over the world. You notice how in days gone by when the police want to kill you, they blow you away and then put a weapon somewhere around you and say he had a gun to justify killing us. Well, what has he done already? He's put the guns in the neighborhood. Now you got the guns. He's justified in doing what? Coming after you to kill you. Now I'm going to show you how he's doing it. Every time you kill one of your brothers in a drive-by shooting, what they call gang shooting, look how many people in a family you hurt. All these grieving people taking a young man to his final resting place. Angry, hurt, bitter. Who did it? A black man. You can't even tell them about the evils of white people because we have been manipulated to such a degree that we have become the most evil in dealing with each other. So the hatred that would have been extended to the oppressor is now turned inward. The oppressed are now their worst hater and killer of other oppressed people. Isn't that sad, brothers? Now check this out. Your mothers are now saying, we got to put a stop to the gang warfare. The politicians are saying we got to put a stop to it. We got to call in the National Guard. In Washington, the female mayor, who is a mother, is so aggrieved at the killing, she's calling for the National Guard. The National Guard, brother, these are not your friends. These are not your brothers. They don't understand you. The federal troops and marshals, when they come, they don't understand you. They're scared to death to come in the neighborhood. So when they come, they shoot and ask questions later. If you keep killing yourself, you're going to justify God turning your so-called lover, that you love these enemies, he's going to make them kill you so that your blood will be running in the gutters of New Orleans and America like sweet wine. Why then would you bring this on yourself when we can stop this madness and turn our communities all the way back around with the right knowledge and the right guidance? You got to do it, black man. Did you know? And then we're gonna. Would you give me 15 more minutes, please? If you understood the Bible, you would know that every man is a producer. God said, let us make man in whose image? Our image, after our likeness. And let us give him what? Dominion and power. All men are rulers. All men by nature need power to rule. And when you don't have power and you don't have dominion, then your nature is not satisfied. You feel less than a man. Please, brothers, don't leave. Don't leave, brothers. You can wait for 10 more minutes. I'd appreciate it if you did. I'd appreciate it if you did. But brothers, you got enough, so you're responsible for what you know. So brothers, let me just say this to you. The way you can get power back, it comes first with knowledge. The knowledge to be a real man. Brothers, I offer you myself as a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I was in show business, and like you, I had good intentions. I think I wanted to be something in life. I smoked reefers, dealt with some pills and liquor and foolishness. But I was very intelligent. I knew I was only going to go so far with that. But I love black people. And I wanted to see us delivered from this condition. And I searched all my life, brothers, for some leader who would help us out of this condition. And when I was 13 years old, I went to New York City, and I saw the picture of a black man on my uncle's wall. And I asked him, who is that man? And he said, that man came to unite black people. I stood up on a chair to drink in his features. And I asked my uncle, where is this man that I might go and meet him? And my uncle said that he was dead. And the tears rolled down my cheeks because I was so close and yet so far. That man was the Honorable Marcus Garvey. From this city of New Orleans, they deported Marcus Garvey, broke his movement, But in 1955, I heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. And I decided I would be a Muslim. I didn't want to change my religion, Reverend. I really wasn't looking for a new religion. I was satisfied being a Christian. But since Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm were Muslims, then I said, okay, I'll go on and be Muslim. Now, in order to be a Muslim, I had to clean up. And that was a little difficult. I had a reefer in my hat band when I went to the mosque. They told me they searched at the mosque and I didn't want them to get my stuff. So I put it in my hat band, and it's true, they didn't find it. So brothers, you ought to check them hat bands. But when I came out of the service that day, I was so filled, I threw my reefer away. I threw my cigarettes away. The next day I went back and looked for them, but they were gone. I stopped eating pork because, brothers, you got to realize that man is what he eats. And if you eat bad food, you just mess up this beautiful system. And if you think the wrong thoughts, as a man thinketh, so is he. So, brothers, I began a long journey. I gave up my music and I went to work to feed my family. I had no idea that I would become the man that I'm becoming today. I won't say to you that I'm a courageous man. I'm just a lover. And like any mother who loves her child, she'll go in a burning building that a fireman won't go into to save her child. I know that my love for you is what makes me challenge this evil system for your life. I don't mind dying. I just want to live long enough to see you up and moving in the right direction. I know that they want me dead. They've already decided Farrakhan got to go. But I say this to America. You would be wise, very wise, super wise, to leave me alone. Very wise. You'll be very wise. I don't know what the brothers in America will do, and I imagine they will do much more than they did when King was killed. But the God that has come after them, he will not spare this country. And so I'm saying to you, brothers, when you leave this house tonight, you make up your mind from this day forward, you will never destroy the flesh and blood of any of your brothers or sisters. And if one of your brothers is so foolish that he will challenge you, see if you can talk him out of it. But if you can't, then you got to fight with those who fight with you in the name of God, and you will be victorious. Now, brothers, the unity of this group of men and the unity of dollars will put you back in a position of economic strength. There are 9,000 men in here tonight. And if 9,000 men stayed together and put $10 together, that's $90,000 in 1 week. Do it 4 weeks. Do it 6 weeks. Do it 6 months. You got enough liquid now, cash, to leverage it. Go to the bank. Say, now look, show me your portfolio. You got a whole lot of buildings you foreclosed on. We'll buy them. You start owning some of New Orleans. These young brothers in here tonight that don't have any trades, sitting in this audience are electricians, plumbers, carpenters, roofers. Then you take a young brother, put him next to that brother. Then you start working to rehab these properties, put them back on the tax roll, money coming more in. Then, brothers, pool this money, go get land. Thousands of acres of farmland. You got brothers in here that know how to farm. Pool the money, go get tractors. No more mule. Tractors, combines. And just like we grew food for somebody else, grow it now for yourself. Set up a canning factory on your land. Take your peas, can it. Take your corn, can it. Take your carrots, your asparagus, your string beans, can it. Put it in your supermarket. Then tell your wife, baby, keep the money in the circle. Shop at our own supermarket. Then, brothers, go get some more land with some dairy cows, grazing land. Then milk your cows and bring the milk into the city. And let's go door to door like the old milkman used to do and sell our own milk to our own people. But we're going to grow it and make it clean, wholesome food rather than the chemical death that's being spread by the merchants of death. It ain't impossible. I'm going to show you, brothers, how to do it. And with the help of God, if God blesses me to live in America 10 more years, I promise you, you will own tens of thousands of acres of land, millions of acres if you back me up. And just when I'm talking to you on a local level, we're going to do it on a national scale. Look at all these shoes we got on. Where these shoes come from? Some animal gave up its hide. White folk took it, tanned it, sold it back to us. Well, don't you think that the animal will give us his hide? And you know white folks' foot ain't like ours. They got these old tight shoes from Italy and whatnot. They're squeezing up your foot. Can we design some shoes? Why are we going to make Nike rich? Taking synthetic rubber and fixing it up, talking about it's Air Jordan. Everything that they are doing for us, we can do for ourselves. I promise you, brothers, it's our day. You got to win your black woman back. You're not going to get her back with talk. We're going to get her back by taking control of our lives, setting up schools where our children are properly educated. Then when you get into politics, you ain't playing his game. You running what you own. Will we do it, black man? Next year, I want to take 1 million black men on the largest, most powerful march on Washington that this country has ever seen. I want us to tell the wife, the daughter, sweetheart, we love you, baby, but this time we want you to stay at home. The revolution is certainly going to be televised. You stay at home. And for the first time in 400 years, we, the black man, are going to stand up for our women and our children and let America know we, the children of slaves that came over in the Middle Passage and died, whose blood soaked the soil of the South and made the South rich and fueled the industrial revolution in the North to make the North rich. We who fought in all your wars for a freedom that we yet don't have. We come to present our demands to the government of the United States. When you speak like men, when you act like men, when you walk like men, when you think like men, and when the bond of love between us is so strong that nothing can shake it or break it, then whatever you want, we can get it for ourselves and our families and our future. May Allah bless you, brothers. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers, let's have prayer before we go. Can we have prayer together? Wait, something I want you to do. Brothers, before you go, here's what I want you to do.